Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with a live stream. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Let's see, yeah, September 14th. Hello everybody. Yeah, I have been traveling. I have done 4 cons already this year. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 to go. And it has been both nice and nerve-wracking to travel. However, I have also been rapid testing on both sides of each set of travel, and I continue to test negative, thank goodness. It is lovely to get out to the cons, and I have a slideshow for y'all of some of the interactions I've been having recently, and I also have some wonderful questions posed by tested patrons. I'm trying to think if there's anything I wanted to cover up at the front. Oh, hey, I just celebrated my 17th wedding anniversary. Thank you, everybody. There apparently isn't a gift for the 17th anniversary, so modern times says furniture. Furniture is the 17th. Mrs. Don't Try This and I don't really put a lot of, emotional baggage onto dates. You know, we get each other presents. It doesn't necessarily have to be on Christmas or on the birthdays. However, 17 years, man. It's pretty amazing. So I just got back from Rose City Comic Con up in Portland, and it was lovely. Before that, I did Silicon. Before that, it was AwesomeCon and MegaCon. And we have, shall we load up the slideshow? We're trying a new technology here. I've got some slides. I can see them over here. Let's see, what is that? Okay, so the first slide is really, really fun. I have been doing, I'm starting to do a new thing at the cons, which is I'm not just doing photo ops, I'm also bringing a costume to do photo ops in costume. And right now the costume is my Captain America Winter Soldier. I just figure anyone who's got a Marvel costume should come and take a picture, and I want to provide the opportunity. And I love traveling with a simple costume, and specifically with my Cap costume, because I've built a case. I spent a long time trying to figure out what Cap's suit might be kept in, what the holding vessel would look like, and I'm super obsessed with holding vessels for anything that I love. And I spent a long time building this vessel out of an old Zarge's collapsible shipping crate, and that's what I check when I fly. I check it and it goes out. And recently, on the trip to Portland, the TSA opened up my bag and left the TSA receipt. But the best part was the bag is very precisely packed. Each thing is in its own pace. And while they got the order wrong, it was clear they packed it with a tremendous amount of care. So I say to the TSA in San Francisco or Portland, whoever opened this bag, thank you for the care with which you put it back. But I also, when I make a case, I'm trying for a specific, oh, let's show the picture of the bag. When I make a case, I'm trying for a specific experience, right? Like, what would it be like to open up the actual case that holds Cap's suit? Is it going now? That's what they're seeing? Yes. Terrific, excellent. So what you can see there is, like, my goal is that the illusion is complete. Like, this is truly Captain America's storage thing. So I like to imagine that I built this for the pleasure of that TSA agent who opened up this box, and they're like, damn, it looks like Cap's actual suit. And if they had a smile, I did my job. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, TSA, I hope I made your day. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, this is this guy who brought me this gift. I wish I had it here to show you. It is still on its way via FedEx. He made this rancor out of polyclay, out of I think Super Sculpey and potentially some Fimo. He used a clear polyclay with some translucent white to make the claws and the teeth, which actually look. I asked him if they were real, like, fingernails of animals because they looked so damn good. Everything about this sculpt is pretty shockingly tight, up to and including and especially the Grogu riding the back of this rancor with a look of pure joy on its face. I love everything about this thing, and I want to say at the outset, There's a lot of clever and talented people, and when we post these things on social media, we take real care to credit people, credit their social channels so that they get the attention that they deserve for their incredible creations. I am not going to remember everyone's name in this live broadcast because I just don't have the database up here. So apologies for that off the top. If you made one of these things and you were hoping to hear me say your name, we just don't have the infrastructure attested right now. But when we post it to social, we work really hard to make sure you get the credit. This woman, I had run into her at a con before, and we were talking about her knitted chainmail. And what you might not know is that chainmail has been knitted since the beginning of the film industry. Actually, I'll bet chainmail's been being knitted since Shakespearean times. I mean, if you need some kind of chainmail, a heavy knit is exactly the way to create the illusion without weighing down your actor. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that knitted chainmail is hundreds of years old. But this wonderful maker, after our discussion of her chainmail, she went off and made me a cowl, a knitted cowl, but not just a knitted cowl. You can see the gold edging. This is from a show and tell I did years ago now of some heavy, big ring aluminum, anodized aluminum chainmail that I ordered from a guy like 10 years ago now, 8 years ago. And specifically, one of the things I found out when I was researching chainmail is that original chainmail for people of elevated status often had gold rings around the perimeter, around the edges of the sleeves, around the neck, around the edge of the cowl, like you can see the gold there. But those were almost always gone after several generations because chainmail was something that you recycled generation to generation. You cut it up, you re-sewed it, basically, it was constantly useful, so it was constantly being updated. So original pieces with their gold edging are surpassingly rare, but she made me a knitted cowl with the gold edging, and I just love that attention to detail. All right. Oh gosh, this guy, wait, hold on. Yep. This is a cartoon artist who is also, I believe, if I got this right, sorry I keep clearing my throat. I've got a little bit of a frog in there. Give me a second. Thank you. A comic book artist and a science teacher, if I remember correctly, named Randall Kirby. Here is his beautiful artwork. You can't focus on that, can you? We're still working out some kinks. A beautiful sketch that Randall made. I love the caricatures, and I particularly love this one. Each one betrays a different person's view of you. You get to see yourself through the filter of their eyes, and there are ways in which it feels like it's dead on and ways in which it doesn't, and each of those is an education. So I just love that. All right. Oh yes, this one. Yeah, I have this one in here too. Hang on. This incredible piece. Yeah, not a little visible. This one, I really, I came back from this autograph session and I said to Billy Boyd, I really appreciate it when fans do a caricature of you and they give you a cut chin, they give you like a strong neckline. I mean, he's given me some real movie star features that I do not possess, and for that, I thank you. That is terrific for my ego. And also, I also love the recursion he's got going on here, where it's me, but he's also done a picture of me on the cover of my book, and he's also done the 8-bit blockhead of me. Yeah, me. It's all me. Wonderful, wonderful caricature. And I just thank you for the time you spent on that. That's the thing that is the real gift of any of these things. It is the time we spend as makers thinking about the person we're making something for. And that's the thing I'm really grateful for. Oh my God, Karen Fukuhara. The Boys literally wrapped season 3 days ago. And I don't know anything about it except that if we thought that season 2 was kind of effed up, apparently season 3 makes season 2 look like amateur night. And when the actors tell you that directly and they like roll their eyes with things they're thinking of, you know it's serious. And so I'm in the green room at Rose City and Karen Fukuhara comes in. And the work she does, look, the work the whole cast does on The Boys is insane and incredible. They all get so much meaty stuff to do. I can only imagine how much fun it is. And Karen's work, all totally silent, is amazing. I'm a huge fan, so she came over and we exchanged pleasantries, and I also asked many, many questions specifically about the tactical choreography of what it is to tear someone's face off from left to right. And she was telling me about stuff that they were doing and how they did it with stunt doubles and all this stuff, but also parts of the thing that were so complex they didn't even get to some of the choreography. But again, as she's telling me about it, her face is lit up with joy. I asked about that final fight in season 2. She said it was really fun. It was about a week to shoot. I just love getting into the nitty-gritty of the production stuff like this. We also saw Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr, and was there one other? No, I think those were the 3. All of them super, super sweet. I blew Jack Quaid's mind by explaining that he sings the song "You're Only Human" in season 2. There's this whole Billy Joel throughput. And they even show, I think, a couple of frames of the video of "You're Only Human." He had no idea that I'm actually in that video. So I blew his mind for a second about that. All right, next slide. This is my panel at Rose City. It was the biggest panel room I have yet done. Everybody was great. It was a little bit of a, it's so funny. I've been performing for so long and I've been doing stuff on stage for so long. Taking this almost 18-month break from being on stage and talking to a crowd, that specific type of storytelling, I feel like I don't know anything about it right now. I feel like I'm a tabula rasa. Every time I get on stage, it feels like it lasts 5 minutes. And that is totally a newbie feeling. That is like, you know, all you hear is the pounding of your heart in your ears and you are moving, but it doesn't feel like you're surfing on a wave. It just feels like you're out there. Rose City was the first time I felt like I was kind of starting to catch that wave. And I just told the story of COVID. I told about getting my hand caught in the lathe and the aftermath of that. You hear a whole crowd go, okay, next one. Oh my God, this woman, dressed as Hoth Leia, with a baby tauntaun, and it was a puppet. So that arm wrapped around the tauntaun is fake, and her hand is inside the puppet, and the tauntaun puppet is interacting with you, and it is a complete illusion. It's just fantastic. And I love the mashup, right? We've never seen a baby tauntaun, but of course, if a baby tauntaun existed, you'd see it in Leia's arms. Again, just a masterpiece of a costume. Kristen, the GM of Tested, my right hand, she travels with me to many of these cons. She spots the puppets from about 600 yards away. She's got puppet vision. And I saw that and I looked over and her eyes were like wide, like, yeah, we're gonna get a picture of this. Amazing. This guy, oh, look at him. He is dressed in a furry Totoro suit, a 3-piece Totoro suit. Furry pants, furry jacket, furry vest, ears. I'm gobsmacked. So beautiful, so incredible. And also, I can't even imagine how hot. Portland was turning out the very non-standard Portland weather in which it was beautifully sunny all weekend long and warm, like unseasonably warm. There was fire smoke on the first day we landed on Thursday, but it wasn't significant on the other days that we were there. Yeah, this guy must have been hot, but what a beautiful, again, another one of those like wholly original attacks on the whole idea of costume and cosplay. And I feel like I learned new things just looking at this suit. Okay. So here I am in my Captain America suit. I don't know what's going on with this pose, but it is not as, shall we say, captainly as I would have hoped. It is something. Yeah, it is more of a, yeah, At any rate, I guess that's about as masculine as I can project when I am going at it. Oh, the sleeve stack. The sleeve stack was beautiful. That was a magnificent one. The big black eyes. I made a joke. I was like, a sleeve stack, get a match. And no one laughed. I always thought it was hilarious that the sleeve stacks were repellable by a single lit match, but yeah, another one I can't even. Actually, I did see the sleeve stack later on as I was moving from my autographs to photo ops, and he had the head off, and he looked like he'd been in the shower. Yeah, that is. I don't think I've ever been that hot. This Godzilla, oh, this Godzilla. Again, every one of these is like an education in the different ways you can do cosplay. And if you're thinking like, I want to do it, but it's not going to be perfect, look at this. There are so many ways this is not a perfect Godzilla, and there are so many ways in which it is a perfect Godzilla. It's almost 8-bit in its big planar forms, but I gotta tell you, the way this cosplayer moved felt super authentic to the original like Toho 1960s, 1950s Godzilla. Another Godzilla came up, different style, different attempt, different walk, but still feeling totally authentic. And I was like, you know, there's another Godzilla. And he was like, I know, I've been trying to find them. This is one of the great pleasures of putting together a costume for several months and then finally wearing it to a con is to run into someone else wearing the same costume, because you get to see a totally different attack on the same problem, and you know that they have suffered through many of the same trenches you had. There is a simpatico and compadre feeling I get from seeing someone else in the same costume I'm wearing. This beautiful Mandalorian, and forgive me if I'm not getting exactly right which costume this is. This was all hand-built, all out of EVA foam. A lovely piece. I signed the inside of it. There were a lot of people. I can't remember if this was this person's first cosplay, but there were a lot of Mandalorians out there. There were a lot of Mandalorians out there that were each of those cosplayers' first attempt at making cosplay. And that's a big swing for your first cosplay.
Shore Trooper.
Shore Trooper, thank you. Shore Trooper, that's what that is, not a Mandalorian. A furry, God, these are great. But I wanted to go back just to one thing to the Shore Trooper. And I'm gonna talk about the Mandalorian, even though that's a Shore Trooper, but here's the thing. I love the fact that Jon Favreau introduced the idea that a Mandalorian is a really moving target when it comes to how you dress. I feel like that was Favreau and Lucasfilm's love letter to cosplayers. Like, go ahead and make whatever Mando you want. It'll fit into the canon. That's magnificent. This wonderful mask. Oh yeah. I love people bringing their stuff up to show me. The orange bands that we're all wearing, they required proof of vaccination at Rose City. Oh my gosh, is this Silent Hill? That's what that is. Yep, I'm glad I recognized it. That person could not see anything, which is, again, a real commitment, a real thing. Okay, I just mind blown. And I saw them several times. I took photo with them, and they did the autograph. And they had a minder. They had a friend who was like helping guide them. But boy, that was a commitment to do that all day. Oh, the Steampunk Ghostbusters Proton Pack. This guy actually, this was one of his very first cosplays, and it's an old one. But when this wearer heard that I was coming to Rose City, he pulled it off the wall, redonned the costume to show me his first excursion into a steampunk Ghostbusters. Just stunning. I also love the little bit of pareidolia on the three-eyed face at the bottom. I feel like I can see a face there. Yeah, it's like one of the aliens from The Simpsons. All right. Oh, this is one of the, the super lightweight foam, SKS foam. They make this beautiful super lightweight cosplay foam, and this shield is made out of it. And I think if that shield weighs 3 ounces, I would be surprised. It was one of the lightest things I've ever held, and it just looked magnificent. Again, it's never been a more exciting time to be a cosplayer. There are so many options and just more coming every single day. Another beautiful Mando helmet. People were showing me they're 3D printed, they're foam built, they're store-bought, they're modified. Yeah, again, Mandalorian is where so much incredible innovation is showing up. This person, yes, this was one of the entrants into the virtual mask workshop that we did at Silicon that blew all of our minds. We had done a bunch of virtual workshops leading up to Silicon, and we had, each of those workshops had a materials box that you would purchase and that would come to you, and then you'd execute whatever the challenge was with that box of materials. So at the end of all of our virtual workshops, we had this pile of materials, and Trip Hunter figured out how many boxes we could make with what we had, and we made this really humble box of materials. And it was like 2mm foam, one sheet, 3mm foam, another sheet, a battery and some lights and some wire. It was a very humble box. And this woman, and actually all 40 some odd people who entered this workshop blew our minds with the executions. This mask is just one version, but everything everybody did was kind of this amazing. Just picture like a couple of sheets of foam and a pile of raw materials, and this mask is what came out of that. I think she was even using some of the tape and the cardboard from the box the stuff came in. I believe, if I'm also correct, that this cosplayer won Best in Show at the cosplay contest at Rose City the night before this picture was taken. This is on Sunday we took this. This is her comfortable wear-around cosplay with the wings and everything. Such great, delightful commitment. I will tell you that when we, the Silicon organizers, put out those boxes of materials and made sure everyone had them, and then we started to get the pictures coming in of what they did, and we were like, oh my God, we got to put these all in the same place. And our graphics people put them into a single gallery, and we all just were on Zoom looking through, and I swear we were all getting choked up by how variegated and magnificently individualistic each of the attacks on these materials were. And every single one humbled me for their ambition with those materials. All right, next one. Oh, this is, again, I'm so sorry I'm gonna forget your name, but this cosplayer I met in Florida, I believe, an incredible painter. Now, her cosplay here is from an action figure series.
From Bandai Tamashii Nation.
From Bandai Tamashii Nation of samurai excursions of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian aesthetic. And I have one of those, and it is this one because it is my favorite. And when I said that to her, she was like, oh, no, this is the best one. And she replicated it full size. Her painting specifically, which is all just simple acrylics, is some of the loveliest cosplay painting I have seen. She has a really incredible eye, an illustrator's eye for the light and dark. So the costumes feel almost like you're looking at a live illustration when they're in front of you. It's sort of the same weird disconnect you have when people do those black and white costumes and then take a picture of themselves at the 7-Eleven. It has that same sort of cognitive dissonance. I'm hoping to work on something with this person at some point because their work is just incredible. That is the slideshow. That is just a small taste of the kind of joy that I am receiving all day long at these cons. It's just so completely lovely.